All right, you guys. So welcome to another episode of the Maui Business Podcast. So today what we have is another local business on Maui that we're interviewing, and the business is called Emotional Wellness Maui. Here with Aundria Case here. Pretty much, I'm just going to have her introduce herself and kind of tell us where we're located, okay?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm honored to do this. I'm Aundria with Emotional Wellness Maui, and I'm located in Kihei off of Ohukai in the Kihei Commercial Center.
Yeah. So it's right behind the Shell gas station and Car Mart as well. So if you guys are wondering where that's at, that's where it is. All right, so Aundria, so how long have you been at this location?
I've been here for a little over 2 years now.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many people do you think you've seen being here
Oh my gosh.
in this building?
Over the 2 years, I'd say a little over 100.
100 people?
Yeah.
Jeez. How do you even meet all these people that you need to help? Like, how does that play a role in your business?
Yeah, word of mouth has been my biggest advertisement.
So when it comes to word of mouth, it goes a long way on the island. So I can actually speak to Andrea's point that one of our good friends, actually, this is also, she's another influential person in my life as far as pushing me in the right direction and making some decisions. Her name is Paulina. She was a realtor at one point, and she encouraged me when I was going to CrossFit to get into real estate and get my real estate license. So she's actually a huge reason why I got into real estate. But on top of that, it's Andrea's friend, and we all go to the same gym, the same CrossFit gym, which you guys will also see that video. We have that one scheduled in the pipeline as well with Coach Frank of Aloha CrossFit. But Paulina's the one who referred me to Aundria, and it was probably one of the best referrals I've gotten and that she's received as well. So yeah, word of mouth travels.
Fun fact, Paulina and I are going to be starting a podcast together.
Perfect.
For the topic that I'm going to be talking about today.
So when that podcast comes out, we will let you guys know, because that podcast is going to be pretty awesome. Like the stuff that Aundria does and just the way that she words things and helps you talk through things in life, it's a game changer. It's helped me a lot. I've had a lot more confidence, so I'm able to get on these cameras and talk to you guys because of you.
Devin. Oh, stop.
No, but
it's because of your hard work.
Yeah, and you guys, it takes a lot of work to really invest in yourself and kind of how much work, what does it take for a person to come into your office? Like, what do you think, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I think there's something deep down where somebody just knows that they really just need redirection. They need, and they feel that voice, that inner voice telling them like something's off, or I just need someone to talk to, or I want to change certain behaviors, then that's what brings them here.
Yeah. And I definitely can speak to that, because there was a season in my life where I was just like, all right, everything's off. I need help. I need to talk to someone. And Paulina came at the right time and recommended Aundria at the right time. So you guys, if there is something that you guys are going through, there's people like Aundria. There's other people out there. If you don't jive with Aundria's personality, which I'd find it very hard if you didn't, but
it's okay.
Yeah, there's always going to be someone out there to help, and you just got to take the steps and take that little leap of faith and actually ask for help or look for it, right? And that's all I did. And I don't know, it's been a good thing. It's not going to hurt you to reach out to someone for help. But with that being said, do you have anything else to say to that?
No, you nailed it. That was good. I think it's really important that people know to not stop trying if they are really feeling that drive to just recenter and get their life the way they want to be living it, and to, they're not going to find the perfect fit or the perfect match for them. That's okay to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
looking for that person.
Keep trying, right? Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Whatever your definition of throwing the towel is, the last thing anybody wants for you. But with that being said, we're just going to go on to the next question. So what is your background, and how did you get into this business?
Well, ironically, similar to how you came to me, I was going through a dark time in my life. I was a new mom, and I was struggling on connecting with God and struggling on connecting with my husband. And so same thing, I just, was sharing that with a friend, and they told me about this therapist, and so I started going to therapy. And that therapist happened to practice the style that I now practice, which is internal family systems therapy. It gave me a sense of hope and direction. You know, I finally felt like I confident and I just had a grasp on the life that I wanted to live. And the more I learned that the more connected I was to myself, and through all the healing, the more deeply connected I would be with others. And then that started to just ripple and happen. I was more deeply connected to my husband and to my friendships and to my family, you know.
And you were more connected to them because you were more connected to yourself, right? Because
Which is the key.
Yeah. So that might kind of sound selfish, but it's really not. Like, you really, like, there's a saying, what's the saying? You can't take care of someone else if you're not
taking care of yourself.
Yeah. That is a huge thing. So if you have a family and, you know, you feel like it's in shambles, like Aundria said at one point, like, go get help. Go talk to someone about it, because you have to be in the right state of mind before you can help others. And I really think, honestly, because you have helped me get confident and just be connected with myself, I'm able to sit here and do these podcast interviews with other people and help other people.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for that.
I love that you said that. That's something that I really am passionate about, is like the love tanks. Like, make sure your love tanks are full so that you can pour out into others, right?
Yeah.
Which really gives a lot of people a sense of purpose when you can pour out into others.
Biblically, it talks about, you know, the greatest of those is those who serve others, or something along those lines. We'll probably put the verse up here. But, you know, serving others really brings you the most joy. So I'm sure if you guys have a lot of money, you guys have wealth, or you guys don't have a lot and you find yourself serving, you're probably finding more joy out of that than spending all your money. You know, obviously depends on how you're using the money and stuff. But with that being said, serving others is probably one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. But you have to take care of self first before.
Yes,
So I
love that.
Yeah. I should pick up this job. I'm just kidding. No.
Well, and that's funny, because that's exactly during my therapeutic process internally, I asked my therapist one day, like, do you think I could do this? Like, I just need to share this with the world. It's changed my life so much that I have to give this back, you know?
Yeah.
And so here I am. Since I've become more aligned in what fulfills me, and gives me a sense of purpose, it's allowed me to just start planting seeds and watch them grow. And that's been, and then it brought me here, and this is where I'm at now.
Question: Are you still seeing a therapist?
I am.
See?
Yep.
So a therapist seeing a therapist.
Yep.
It goes to show you that no one's perfect. And
Totally.
right?
Yep. And there's something the internal family systems. It's IFS. You'll hear me refer it to as IFS. That community is one of the powerful things that they offer. Is these are my words, but is that you're only as good as the work you do on yourself. So it's like continual, you know, work. And it goes just around the whole theory of IFS and constantly being with yourself so that you can separate and then fully show up in what we call self and self-leadership, self-energy.
She's good. Like, I love coming to her and talking about self. Like, it just, I don't know, it's a really freeing, emotional, I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys are interested in what is it called?
Internal family systems therapy.
Internal family systems therapy. So if you guys are interested in that, I'd highly recommend, maybe she's going to have a course come out soon. We'll go ahead and let you guys know about that as well. But I recommend looking into that, because it's changed my life, and obviously it's changed hers, and she's still doing it to this day. How long have you counseling?
8 years of my own internal work.
Yeah, so it never ends,
Yeah,
right? Never ends.
yeah.
There's always work to do on
That's
yourself. So with that being said, thank you for your answers.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
And then, was this a family business, or did you kind of pave the way from your family?
Yeah, no, this is all, okay, it was not started as a family business, but I will say my husband he's like the backbone of this business.
Okay.
And all the everything that he does for us. So it's becoming our family business. Does that make sense?
Yeah. How is he the backbone for your business?
Oh my gosh, he's my IT department. He is my marketing, well, until now. Yeah, he's been like the business administrator. He's done all the background stuff to creating a business.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what does your husband do for work?
He's a fireman here for Maui Fire Department.
So he obviously needs a strong woman like her, right, to help. Like, he has a stressful job as well. How is it, like, what can someone, like, let's say someone's going through kind of what you were going through as far as learning new mothership or motherhood, however you want to word that. And then they're going through that season of being a new mother and stuff like that. But how, when someone helps themselves, and then how can it help their significant other in the future? Does that make sense, kind of where I'm going?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way that I can describe it is in the terms that I use therapeutically, and that is the more connected to self that you are. So the more your tanks are full, the more emotional overall wellness that you have in your life, the more space you have for everyone around you. So with my husband, as he goes through stressful events and traumatic events, the more I work on myself and the more self-energy I have, that gives me the ability to show up for him. In fact, I love it. Brene Brown, someone I totally admire, she shared one time this thing that her and her husband do when they come home from a busy day and they check in on their capacities. So she'll say, like, I'm at 30% capacity, and he'll say, I'm at 20%. Together they have 50% capacity. To me, that translates to like self-energy. Together they have 50% of self-energy that they can show up for their kids and show up for each other, and it just kind of like prepares them to know how well they can show up in those moments.
Yeah, that's huge, because like an individual, right, only has so much energy, right? Even I know there's another Bible verse that talks about 2 chords are strong, but 3 chords is even stronger. I mean, especially if you guys have God in your lives too, that also helps. But just, having someone else's energy, it helps you to combine as one and thrive, right? To show up, like you said, for other people in your life. Because some of you guys watching this video are probably parents, single parents at that, single moms, right? I don't know what a lot of people's issues are too much, but I do know that there are people out there who need a lot of help, and it's important to get the help that you need.
And you deserve it. Yeah,
you deserve it. Like, it's the best investment. Like, I highly encourage anybody to go get help and talk to a therapist. It's one of the best investments I've made personally. So thank you once again. So the next question I have for her is, how is starting the business?
It's been a journey. It all kind of started during COVID. During COVID, I just finally felt that like aligned confidence, connectedness that I really needed to know that this is a direction I could go. So I decided to apply for grad school. I didn't get into a couple that I applied to, and then I did get into one. And that one just really like set everything into place. So then after I started grad school during COVID, all online, I started applying for the internal family systems level 1 training, and which is super hard to get into. And after a few tries for this lottery system, I finally got in, which felt like I won the lottery. I literally won the IFS lottery. And from there, I just started sharing the work, and people just really started showing up and contacting me. And then, like we said earlier, word of mouth. People were more interested in what this whole parts language was, and the change. I think a lot of people were seeing, like personal people to me, were starting to see a change in my life.
That's what catapulted, you think, the business?
I think so, yeah. And then there's just been this slow transition, this really beautiful slow transition where I was leaving my old career and transitioning into here, and it's just been a steady incline, which I feel that's like God's hand in my work, and in making sure I'm nudged a little bit, but then not getting like too much overwhelmed, too
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
All right. So the next question I have for her are, what are some challenges you've overcome in starting the business?
Oh man. Okay. I think in any business I'm learning that you're going to be faced with a lot of obstacles. And no matter how aligned or how purposeful your work is, you're going to have to jump through a lot of obstacles and challenges to keep your eye on your dream.
Yeah.
On the bigger what purpose of what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do. Every time you try something new, there's going to be challenges, and those are opportunities to overcome those challenges and just keep going. You know?
And that's been a reoccurring theme. If you guys have been following the podcast and watching it, everybody said there's challenges. If you guys are thinking about getting into entrepreneurship or whatever it is like that, there's always going to be challenges. So expect that going into it and just continue on the path, like she said, and just focusing on that purpose. Because there's a lot of people, I know for me, I'm still looking for purpose, right? I know I've come to her, talked to her, stuff like that, but I'm still always looking for more purpose, right? Like these podcasts are cool and other stuff that I'm doing outside in the community are cool, but I'm always looking for more ways to provide, right? And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who are looking for purpose, right? So I encourage you to find that purpose and really figure out what it is that you can do to help others. If it's a simple podcast video, or if it's a simple, hey, you look great today, right? Just giving a stranger a simple compliment like that can help others, right? All right, so the next question I have for her is, how have you impacted the community? Like, what have you done to help the community? As you guys know, there's been a couple fires that have happened, and, I'm curious as to how you've been helping the community.
Yeah, thank you. Well, what's really beautiful about this work is it provides a lot of opportunities. I think it's just on anyone that does this kind of work, it's on your heart to give back and contribute in any way that you can. I tend to really watch for the opportunities and just feel that pull. I always say listen to that pull, where you're just feeling pulled to. I think everybody was pulled to contribute when the fires happened.
Yeah.
So I got a really beautiful opportunity to show up in an incredibly tragic experience for our island. I got to participate in some different opportunities that provided a lot of support right after the fires, just for somebody to come and talk to and get information on how they can, just process what was happening. So that was a pretty unfortunate experience, but a beautiful way to show up with the work that I do.
Yeah, and there's a saying, there's beauty in the ashes, right? And that's a perfect example of kind of what she portrayed right there, right? Is people lost a lot, and she was able to find the beauty out of it and help them. So that's a good thing for anybody who's struggling. It might look like it's ruined, but there's people out there like Aundria that can help. So one thing about Maui too, and when the fires did happen, the whole island, I know the whole island was involved. Like if you guys don't live here and you don't understand the aloha spirit, you probably won't understand this, but everybody came through for Maui, like all the islands. It was, for me, not being from here and coming from the mainland, it was a really cool experience to see everybody in Maui, in Hawaii, just come together for the island. So to me, it just kind of goes to show that I think, the Hawaii Islands have kind of adopted the LFR kind of concept. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I feel like with working with Aundria, people really know people just in general on islands kind of know what's important, right? When everything hits the fan, everybody kind of knows where to refocus and recenter. Yeah,
it's definitely deep in the culture here to show up and pour out no matter what.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in moving to Maui, Hawaii, that's kind of what comes with the buying property or living here. It's not really advertised, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about purchasing in Hawaii too. So next question I have for you is, what is unique about your business?
Gosh, this is a tricky question in the field that I work in, because we encourage people to find their person, like find the coach, find the therapist, find that match that you really connect with. So what's unique to my business is me. I have a highly sensitive heart that has an ability to empathetically and compassionately really meet people exactly where they're at. I feel because of the work I've done on myself, it gives me the ability to separate my life and my life experiences and my lens that I operate from and really show up and just, I think I told you about the bus, right? Like when a client comes in, my job is to just get on their bus. Your system is a bus and you're the driver, and I'm just here to help navigate the map within your own mind and then share some really beautiful skills, to help you operate and integrate a mindfulness into your daily life.
Yeah, and the bus metaphor, I know it sounds crazy and like we're all probably loopy, but it's a real thing that if you guys look into IFLR, IFS,
or even just parts work, it goes back even before IFS. So parts work,
IFS or parts work, like that is I don't know, it's something that actually has really helped. So I encourage you to look into it if you don't know about it. And then also something that she said is like her makes it unique about her business, because honestly, I've went to like 2 or 3 therapists, and then with her, one, I knew her personally on a personal level, and then knowing that she was a therapist, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. So it helps, having a unique person that you can connect with and bond with on this level to get you to the next level where you're trying to go. So thank you for being you. All right, Aundria, so the next question I have for is, take us through the customer experience of your therapist business.
Okay. So I am actually practicing as a life coach IFS practitioner, which is, once you finish grad school, you have so many hours that you have to get to be a licensed therapist. So IFS actually provides the opportunity to be what's called an IFS practitioner.
So that's what you are now.
And that's what I am. Yeah. Okay. And then grad school will be ending, and then I'll be working towards my licensing, which will provide the community even more because I'll be able to take insurance. At this time, I'm not able to until I have a license. So that's really exciting for future community opportunities, The process when you come in, so someone would contact me. I tend to offer a 15-minute conversation, consultation over the phone, just to let the person know, the potential client know what I have to offer, a little bit about me, a little bit about my experience, and then get an idea of what they're needing. That's really important to me because I really want to make sure I'm working within my competency, within the training that I've received. So if a client's coming to me with something a little outside of those boundaries, I'll really make sure to get them a good reference or referral.
So what are some of those boundaries that you wouldn't touch, so to speak, like a couple of them?
So if somebody is struggling with something more severe, such as substance uses or maybe like a more severe eating disorder, in my consultation, I'm gathering information to really tease out the level of care that is necessary for them. Whereas my level of care is going to be more of incorporating a mindfulness into their life, going through some of their past experiences. So I do a little bit of trauma-informed work, but in that consultation, I really am able to navigate where they're at and what they're really needing, and if that lines up with what I'm able to provide them.
So with the people who have sickness, drug addiction, right, or what'd you say?
Eating disorders. Those are just 2 examples.
So do you have any recommendations for that you can refer to these people?
There's really special training in both of those specific areas. In a lot of different mental health areas, there are specific trainings and educations that people go through specific to those, those situations. So for instance, if you're struggling with substances, there's people trained in that that just have a little bit more of a scope around what they can offer. There's inpatient facilities. So there's outpatient facilities, and I have that information that I can provide for them. And then for like eating disorders, same thing. There's inpatient, there's outpatient. There's people that are trained specifically in that. I'm actually doing my internship there. So eventually it will be on your Rolodex, something that I offer. Yeah, exactly. Getting that information allows me to navigate where they're at. And there's specific things that people are trained in that can offer them a little bit more direction.
Yeah, because you want the best for them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so also to Andrea's point, maybe some of you guys don't know, but I also had a 5-year heroin meth addiction going through my life, and whatever I did, right? This all happened before I was 21 years old. And then I actually got into a drug rehab called Teen Challenge. Changed my life. Best program in the entire world. Program was free. It was free, and it was all God-centered, and it was an inpatient program where they take everything away from you, your phone, everything, and then you're pretty much just given a Bible and a schedule to follow, right? And to me, that's what I needed in my life, and I've learned a lot more going through that program and the Bible than, unfortunately, my parents, sorry parents if you're watching this, but the Bible's taught me more than you guys have, which appreciate you guys, but like the word and what I went through and my situation was something that I needed to get help with, and Teen Challenge was there. So if you guys are looking to get off of drugs, I highly recommend that program. Changed my life, changed my little brother's life too on top of that. He's actually currently in the Navy at boot camp right now. And it's all because I took care of self first, like Aundria talks about. I took care of self first, and then everything else kind of just followed behind, just like my brother. I mean, he worked at the Bible college that I went to, so it's just a full circle of everything that's happened.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So the next question I have for Aundria is, what type of lifestyle does your business promote?
We promote just overall emotional wellness, hence Emotional Wellness Maui. And with that is the delivery of a holistic path to self-discovery and just overall wellness so that you can live the life that feels most aligned and that's going to bring you the most joy. Through the IFS perspective, we offer the opportunity to just deal with emotional difficulties, past trauma experiences, relationship difficulties, or just simply seeking personal growth. Yeah.
So one thing that is really cool about her business is that it doesn't just focus, emotional wellness is like a whole rounded thing. It's not just one emotion, so to speak, and is how I'm kind of interpreting it. So yeah, go get the help that you need.
On that, the movie Inside Out was the cartoon Disney movie was designed around internal family systems therapy. So go watch that if you want an idea on what it is. A lot of people, there's a little bit of a misconception that I find often. I'll say internal family systems, and they're like, oh, I'm not looking for family therapy. I'm looking for individual. That's it. It's the internal family within us. And that's all about the parts work, right?
Yeah.
The different parts of our personality, and Inside Out is a great movie to just familiarize with the concept of parts.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that about that movie. I'm going to go watch that movie tonight. Let you guys know how it is. But I think it's really cool how she said, what is it? Internal family systems, right?
Internal family systems.
Yeah, so when she said that is like, I'm not looking for family support or family counseling. And then knowing, kind of working with Aundria and knowing about the parts and what she's talking about, when she said that not knowing or not needing family counseling, to me, I immediately knew what she was talking about because, like, inside, I knew what she was talking about because I knew that the parts, when you get into the parts work, it's like your own little family that you have to argue with, fight with, tell to shut up, like all those, like you
compassionately guide.
Yeah. See, I'm a little bit harsher on myself, but it's just a perfect example of what the parts work is about, right? So that's good. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
So next question I have for you, Aundria, is how do you, the business owner, see their business contributing to the future of Maui?
Thank you. Good question. I am really excited to continue adding on different trainings to expand my competency. One thing that I'm super passionate about is helping in the first responders field. So I want to receive some trainings that will allow me to contribute more to that area, obviously, because my husband and just the passion around that. I grew up with my dad being a police officer. I was going to be a police officer. And then my husband, was in the military and is a fireman. So it's just definitely a part of my heart to like pour back into that. And then also just the community in general. I would love to, ultimately, I plan to have some kind of retreat or community opportunity to provide, for free. Like, I really want people to feel like they have resources that they don't have to always pay for or use their insurance for, and just be able to come and feel
helped.
Yeah, helped, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so free community resource, I mean, we'll have to collaborate on that a little bit more, and I'll see if we can come up with something. And when we do launch that, we'll go ahead and do a whole nother video on that when we get down that road. All right, guys. So that pretty much wraps it up for the Maui Business Podcast. So the last question I have for you, Aundria, is what is something that you can offer to the community as far as like a discount or something like that?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm super honored. So for my kama aina, I want to offer the 15-minute free consultation. And then if you decide to work with me, 5 sessions, if you decide to purchase 5 sessions, I'll throw in an additional session for free.
Nice. And then how long are these sessions?
Sessions are 50 minutes, 50. Yeah, and then I do couples as well, and so the couple sessions tend to go in about 75 minutes. 75 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so the offer still applies for couples as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So as you guys see, that is the offer that she has for you, and that's pretty much it for this podcast, you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys know another business owner, or you guys are looking to cash in on this offer that Aundria is talking about, feel free to reach out to her. What is the number for your company?
Yeah, my phone number is 808-281-4847.
So as you guys see there, you guys can go ahead and call her there, contact her there as well. And is there another business that we can interview? What is one person that you would recommend that we should interview next?
Breath of Life Recovery.
They are actually already on the list, so we are definitely going to be reaching out to them.
Perfect.
Yeah, so with that being said, you guys, God bless and aloha. Have a good one.